He will put you in jail. You sign everything for 20 years. That's enough to finish you. The most terrifying threat in your life comes in a child voice. Not a lawyer's, not a man's, a child. At that moment, I understand. This story is no longer about relationship. This is a system. In 1 month, more than 2.5 million people watched my story. He's threatening me with the documents. He put a debt in my name. He says he will put me in jail. I am scared. My case is not an exception. Imagine this. The most terrifying threat in your life comes in a child voice. Not a lawyer's, not a man's, not someone who has been building scams for 20 years. A child. He said to me, he will put you in jail. You sign everything for 20 years. That's enough to finish you.
And because all the companies your name was on, you go to jail here also. All the documents you signed before, you're gonna go to jail.
At that moment, I understand. This story is no longer about relationship. This is a system hidden for years. 2.5 million views and thousands of similar stories. In 1 month, more than 2.5 million people watched my story. But the number is not the main thing. The main thing is the message that came after. He's threatening me with the documents. He put a debt in my name. He says he will put me in jail. He used my passport. He keeps my signature. I'm afraid. I am scared. Reading these messages, I understood. My case is not an exception. These scams exist in many families and no one talks about them. Family terrorism today is not shooting, it's documents. Most people think violence is shooting and threats, but there is a form of violence that is much quieter and far more dangerous. Legal and financial abuse. Documents become a weapon. Signature becomes a trap. Debts appear without your knowledge. Your passport is used in other countries. You are made a normal owner of companies you have never heard about. This is new type of abuse, and it destroys people for years. When I went through the documents, the picture became clear. In 2011 and 2012, I was not a director. The company was fully controlled by Virwani family. All decisions, all deals, all documents done by them. Later, they placed me on board, briefly, formally, with no real power. And during that period, when I was his wife, he takes a loan in my name. But he registers it under my maiden name, not as a wife, not as a partner, as an unrelated person. Legally absurd. For the scheme, perfect. That is how you create a future debtor. That is how you build a trap for years. Covering the tracks, selling the debt in the UK. When he realized the truth would eventually surface, he made the next move. He sold the debt to a British company. The company is empty, no real owner in the registry. Nominal figure, a name that doesn't exist. And this company is suing me right now. Not him, not his family. A fake creditor, created to hide the real architect of the scam. They made one mistake. They thought I would stay silent. I am silent no more. I never signed that contract. Now, the most important part, the contract, their entire accusation is built on I never signed it. I never saw it. Not a single page, not a single clause. The signatures are not mine. Experts confirmed it, which means the document is forged, the debt is fake. The goal was never a loan. The goal was to destroy me as a person, as a wife, as a witness. But now this document is evidence against them. But truth has one feature. It always rises. The most important part, helping those in danger now. Hundreds of women wrote to me. He threatens me with documents. He says he will put me in jail. He put the debt in my name. He manipulates my passport. Listen carefully. These steps can save your life. First, Collect every document with your signature. Second, get full bank statements. Third, record every thread. Fourth, do not sign anything under pressure. Fifth, keep your passport and ID with you. Sixth, change all your passwords. Seventh, speak to a lawyer. And most importantly, you are not guilty. Not in their scams, not in their debts, not in their manipulations. The international legal network, a new protection system. After all these messages, I realized something. I cannot be just a woman who tells her story. I must create a system of protection. Today, we work with lawyers from India, UAE, UK, Canada, Singapore, America, Europe. We handle domestic violence, financial terrorism, forged signatures, fake debts, international protection of women, case involving children, criminal scams inside families. Now everyone who reach out will be heard, to those who live in fear. If you have heard threats, if you are told, you sign it yourself, I will destroy you, I will take the documents, you will never prove anything. If you are scared, you are not alone. I knew this fear, I lived with it for years, and I managed to escape, and you will too. Now, there is a place that will protect you, that will hear you, where your voice has power. Because truth is not a weakness, truth is power, and it no longer belongs only to me.